Nice way to try and hide. Okay. I'm going to be a little bit careful here. For the most part, because there is a setup which I'm going to do in a little bit involving the laser bridge in a couple of rooms from now. And the reason for that is there's still 2 encounters. And if I take any damage, I'm going to die. So that is that. And instead of doing the any % vent skip that we normally do, we have to jump across the old-fashioned way. Get rid of the tough glove, goodbye, we don't need you anymore. Mainly because we need to make room for the stained apron. Oh, yeah, that's right, notification. Because apparently we skip that normally. In any %. Sorry, I should say, if I mention anything about skips, I'm referring to any %, not this particular category here. Okay. Oh, whoops. Oh, okay, never mind, we don't even have to take damage, we just have to get hit by the lasers. But yeah, that's the setup I was talking about just before. So, getting hit by the lasers there triggers a mini phone call from Alfie's. And basically she disarms all the lasers in Hotland. First of four Hotland puzzles. This part being east-west, and the second lot being north-south. So, I know there's a save point after the jetpack cooking show coming up. Also, a lot of these puzzles are muscle memory for the most part. For more experienced runners of this category, obviously for newer runners, it might be helpful to just take notes or something to have on hand, or have the guide up or something like that. So yeah, coming up to the cooking show. Basically we move up to the top because it's slightly faster, because we get the items we want straight away. Also, apparently we have a cooking show. We have Medita hosting Cooking with a Killer Robot. Oh, of course we're missing the most important ingredient, the human soul. Oh, sorry, ingredient, not ingredient. I can't English today. Also, apparently, according to this game, human souls are considered non-vegan. Today I learned. Steamed hams. Okay, let's see if we can no-hit this segment. It's not impossible, but hopefully the attack patterns are nice. So far, so good. Oh, Metaton, no. Made that. That was a really bad spot there. We just got like wailed on big time. So rip no hit, in fact rip 1 hit. Okay. Not my best jetpack show, but I'll take it. So I'm gonna do a quick. Okay. So I'm gonna heal there because there's one more encounter we have to worry about here, and I don't want to risk it with 1 HP. Also, the field where we can go to right floor 2 instead of having to go to left 1. Another any % trick that we'd have to worry about is losing our menu for skipping the cutscene, whereas here we don't have to worry about it. Okay, so that is the last encounter of this area, and down we go to get the stained apron. Here we go, we have all 5 pieces of armor. Okay. Easy. Safety save there because we have Royal Guards coming up. It's not likely that I'll die here, but I just want to be safe because it is kind of a difficult fight. Oh, okay, wrong one. It was O2 that we have to do that with. Ow. Ow. Can I? This is not looking too good. Just gotta... Ah! No, okay, that's fine. We're just gonna do a quick load. That's fine. This is not gonna PB because I majorly screwed up this fight. Okay. So that's 5 tings there, which is what we need to do that. Yeah, we're going to be losing a fair chunk of time here because of that death. Also cutscene. Unskippable text, everyone's favorite. Yeah, to be fair, that death, I shouldn't say it wasn't entirely unexpected, but I mean, if I didn't waste the first turn, I probably would have made it safer. Oh well. I mean, price I pay for not really... Gotta be careful after this cutscene finishes. Alright. So, coming up is the first of the... Well, this isn't actually really any exploits, it's just... You just defuse bombs, that's all there is. Also, the lasers here are turned off, so you don't have to worry about them. Yeah, we're going to be losing about... If we can get this optimally, maybe we're not losing that much, but... So, fun fact, with the present and the basketball, we can whack them with the pan, because apparently that, that does the same thing as, doing the act on it. Yeah, this is definitely off PB pace now. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's about 40 seconds right there. Oh well. Yes, we defused the dog. Okay, so we got a left floor 3 now, and this is where we get the north-south puzzles coming up. One of them is incredibly easy, and one of them is easy, but you can get tripped up on it if you're not careful. Actually, I shouldn't say the first one's incredibly easy. We'll do south first, because that's the easier of the two if you don't, like, whiff on any of the puzzle parts of it. Also, fun fact, these lasers are turned on still. Also, we don't want to watch Alfie's anime because basically it just saves time to go no, even though I'm sure it's a really good anime and at some point maybe we would watch it, I don't know. Unfortunately that time loss is going to be a pain now because, yeah, I'll put that down to my own fault. That was completely on me. Okay, we did that one the right way. So it's usually left-right, but sometimes there have been occasions of runners getting confused and going left-right instead of right-left. I mean, right-left instead of left-right. If you do it around the wrong way, it completely messes it up and you have to restart it. Doesn't lose that much time, but it's usually a bit of a hassle. Okay, so we have Muffet coming up now. Okay, let's get through here. Okay, so we eat the spider donut in front of Muffet. Basically, it turns it from having to go through a 3 or 4 minute fight sequence to a 30-second to about a minute cutscene. Can I save, please? There we go. So, the reason why I'm saving here, the reason why I'm saving after the Muffet fight is there's one little trick that comes up. We basically have to save and quit. We have to save there and then quit out to reload. Because we get the opera puzzle coming up now. We get the Mettaton opera / play musical thingy. And what that does is, because we loaded back in after interacting with the cutscene, we can skip the text instead of it being unskippable. Because if we didn't do that, then we'd have to hear the whole opera in full force. Yeah, no, that's not a glitch, unfortunately. I know the cap is there, but yeah. Okay, let's see if I can get this perfectly. Okay, that was basically near optimal. So we get more unskippable text here, but we get a little helping hand. So we've quote-unquote beaten Mettaton, and we move on from that point. So that is the opera puzzle. One of the other areas that we don't get to see all that often with this run. And now we move on to the start of core. We get 2 solitary encounters that we have to worry about. Okay. We can take a bit of damage here because we get the save point before Metaton. And we get this laser bridge. Hello, thank you. So we do the last puzzle of the run. I want to say, yeah, I'm fairly certain this is the last puzzle we have to deal with. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Okay, so we've done that, which means we get access to go over the bridge instead of having to go and do something else instead. We flee the astigmatism that's coming up. Took a bit slower there for no real reason, but that's fine. Okay, we're going to safety save here because this is one of the main junctures of the run, and if I screw up or die here, I go further back than I would want to. So, if I do this right, I shouldn't take any damage on this part of the fight, and then we get to the second part, which is where I will get to demonstrate essay skip, hopefully. Okay. So that's phase 1 down. We didn't take any damage, which is good. Hopefully I can get essay skip to work in the second half, and once the fight is done, I'll explain that in a little bit more detail.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, this is gonna be fun. If I hadn't taken that death to the Royal Guards, I could have possibly saved it, but, I mean, PB is pretty much dead at this point. So we're going to take some intentional damage here. Here we go, essay skip. So as you saw, I went into my menu and put on all 5 of the armor pieces that I obtained throughout the run so far. Because it's quote-unquote fashion, we want to get above 1200 ratings before the essay in order to skip it, because it just wastes us a little bit of time to do the essay. So that was actually really good. Also, fun fact, the first caller that comes up is actually Napsterbluke. There's a little bit of lore that apparently Metaton and Napsterbluke were once more knowledgeable of each other, I think would be the best way to put it. Like, they knew each other in the past, before Metaton decided to get a human robot body. Which is kind of sad, but, you know, it is what it is. We're actually going to be losing a little bit of time here, unfortunately, which is fine. I mean, at this point, we're sort of expecting it. Come on, Elvis, hurry up. Oof. Still sub 154 pace, though. I mean, small consolation, I guess. Also, who here likes long elevators? So we're in the penultimate part of the neutral branch. We have to go through New Home. And then, yeah. So of course we get to see Undertale in all its glory. Yeah. So if anyone is interested about the lore of the game, this is basically it in a nutshell. Unfortunately, we can't skip any of this text, so yeah, I guess I should say enjoy. So we do have one more save and quit strat coming up, which is for Judgment Hall. Reason for that is the same with the Opera Puzzle. If we interact with a cutscene and then reload the game from that point, it'll treat it as though we've been through the cutscene, so we get to match the text faster. Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask here and it's not really working out too well. The human became very ill. And no, I'm not yawning because of the monster tail, it's... yeah. I mean, this music is really nice, but unfortunately we have to deal with the near incessant overflowing of all this unskippable text. Yes, there's that as well. This is basically feels central for the main part of the run. So I think we have this encounter and then one more. And then we're done with Monster Tale and we can actually focus on the game again. Yay. No, I'm not excited. No, I'm not happy. I just want to be out of this unskippable text. So we save there, and this is where we do the final save and quit strat for this run. How this works is we have to wait for the first text box to come up with the cutscene. Otherwise, because of how the game works, if we do it too early, then it doesn't trigger the cutscene, so we don't get to skip it, or we don't get to text fast. We don't get to get through the text faster. Although there is actually a trigger there is actually a sound cue that tells you if you've done it right or not. The pitch for the bell will be a little bit higher. There we go. Yeah, that's one of the few strats that's actually mainly useful for getting through unskippable text in this run. So we're coming up to Asgore's throne room. I'm sorry if I'm yawning a bit too much. It's just been one of those days. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go through all this text. And then we're going to save in the throne room because it actually saves us a little bit of time to save in the throne room instead of saving in the next room. Yeah, Asgore, let's just cut to the point. We both know what's going to happen. Ah, damn it, my fingers slipped, so that was bad mashing. Okay, so we're coming up to the Asgore boss fight, which is, in my opinion, one of the more difficult fights of the game in general. Basically because we have to do as much damage efficiently as we can each turn. So with the burnt pan, we get 4 attack bars coming up on the screen. If we get 4 frame perfect hits in the center of the attack bar, we get what we call a quad, which deals roughly more than double the damage of a standard attack. And obviously the less bars we get in the middle, the less damage we do. So I'm just going to have to focus for a little bit here. Ow. Oh, that was bad. Come on, one frame up. Please. There we go, should be one more turn hopefully. was way early on that last one. On that third one, rather. That was a... I want to say 13 turn. So yeah, unfortunately we have to kill Asgore because, you know, it's faster. Actually, I'm not sure if it was a 13 or 14. It might have been a 14, but it's still right up there with one of the best Asgores I've had in this category, so I'm not complaining. I think if I quartered the turn prior to the ending turn, I would have probably got a 13 or 12 turn, whichever one was one lower. Okay, so Flowey automatically closes the game there, so we have to reload it, and we get this intro screen. A little bit different. So while I've got a little bit of downtime, I'll explain how the save mechanics work with this game and how some of the other goings on and all that. So what we've done with a couple of save and quits is, because we've interacted with cutscenes and it's registered that we've interacted with said cutscenes, even though we saved prior, it still registers that we've been into that cutscene, so we get to skip it, or we get to mash through the text faster. And the other purpose of the save state in this game is it lets us know, well, apparently how it works in this case rather, is because even though we've killed Asgore and we're about to fight Flowey, the game actually doesn't recognize that we killed them because we loaded the save file from before we fought Asgore. So even though we're on the pacifist ending after this fight, because that the game doesn't register that we killed Asgore and Flowey, that we're on the pacifist route after we restart. Even though Flowey's basically dead because he disappears, but we see Asgore again. And yeah, so welcome to the next 11 minutes of auto-scrolling, roughly. Well, I want to say 10 and a half, 11 minutes, give or take. Yeah. So there's not really much I can say here, it's just an auto-scroller, and we just gotta try not to die. Okay, so I'm going to say this now. I'm not going to no-hit the entire fight, but it is pretty good to no-hit the first soul phase. So with this phase here, we can tell which direction the X button is going to come from based on how these swords are rotating, or the knives, or whatever. If they're rotating counterclockwise, then we go to the top left. If they're rotating clockwise, we go to the top right. Ow. Also, I don't know what the deal is with spam in chat, but there is a little part, a part of the run a little bit after this first phase that, if it's allowed, I will request that chat do a little bit of spam. Again, if that's acceptable within the mod staff on the Twitch channel. Obviously, I don't want to start a spam war in chat if it's going to be a problem. Okay, so it looks like we have the all clear. So I'll give you guys a heads up when we can start spamming. But basically, I'll go over it now because I've got time. So after the first phase of this fight, when we go into the second half, it's a pseudo tradition for the most part that we do what we call ow spam in chat, because for the most part all we hear is Flowey saying ow. So obviously, you know, ow or any variants thereof are usually acceptable for that. Also, I was a bit late with this because with the fourth phase there's a bit of RNG involved, but hopefully I can guess right. I want to say that the egg button will come from the left. Let's see if I'm correct in that. So we've got 2 left, 1 right. I'm going to go left. I'm going to YOLO it. And I was correct. Yes. So it's a 50-50 chance whether it's left or right. Obviously, if you go for it and you're correct, it saves a little bit of time. If you go for it and you're wrong, it loses a little bit of time. If you don't go for it, you're not really losing time compared to normal strats. Okay. Ow. I'm gonna start taking damage here because of the egg button. Okay, last phase. Or last soul phase rather, coming up. Okay, so sorry, I kind of lied before. We do one more quit and reload. But we're not actually saving before it, so it doesn't really... 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... Bit slow there, but we'll manage. We do that because it saves a little bit of time rather than going through the cutscene. Okay, so this is the part where we do owl spam, so chat, go crazy. Yeah. Like I said, owl or anything related to owl is normally what we use here. Ow! Ow! Let's see if we can break chat, shall we? Go crazy. Let's just have everyone go ham. There we go. There's some spam. There's some owl spam coming through. There we go, nice spam. Okay, and now we stop with the spam because we've finished that part of the fight. But yeah, seriously, nice spam, guys. Thanks. Good job. Yeah. So all we just do now is you get through a little bit of a cutscene and... Ow. Excuse me, there we go. Position that nicely. Yes. Flowey is Trollface and... Flowey is basically Trollface incarnate. I mean, let's be real here. Yeah, there's no point mashing the text away normally because it's unskippable, so... Also, yeah, plot twist, the Swirls actually rebel against Flowey because, you know, we made them... We basically, were able to connect with them or something like that. I mean, I don't know exactly why. I think it's just because of the fact that we sort of interact with them and make them realize that we're actually on their side. Oh, what? Might have to cut it because we're still pretty behind. I mean, if we have to cut it, I mean... Oh, cut my... Oh, okay. Sorry, I wasn't too sure. I was thinking, because if that was the case, yeah. I was a little bit confused for a second there, that's all. So, okay, now we're back on the... We're back on the pacifist ending of the run now, so... yeah. So we go back, and as you can see, we don't have to worry about dealing with judgment skip or anything like that. So we get to go back basically through we basically get to go back through core. Now we go down not so long elevator. Apparently it goes up. Apparently it goes down faster than it goes up. So with this particular ending of the run, we're going to see three major parts, well, four major parts if you count the end boss. We're going to see the Undying Date, which is the first thing up on the agenda. We're going to see the Alfie's Date, which is a little bit after Undying. We're going to get to see True Lab, which is not too easy, but not too hard either. It's kind of in the middle. And lastly, the end game boss fight. Why do I keep holding... I'm losing my mind. Safety save in case I wrong vote, which can happen. Basically, because if we wrong vote, it loses us about 40 seconds, so I just do a safety save at that point, just to be, well, safe. So we're going to go to Waterfall now, because we're going to do the Undying Date. Yeah. So, yeah, like I said before about the 3 criteria of the true pacifist ending, the first one we've already done, which is the Alphys Hangout. Well, Alphys, not Alphys, sorry, Papyrus Hangout. The second one is the Undying Date, which we're doing now. And then the third one, the third part of the pacifist ending setup is the Alfie's Date, which we're going to do a little bit after this. Of course we go with T, because why not? So with a lot of this text we can actually skip it, which is good. So it's not entirely slow. Keyboard mashing intensifies. Also, now apparently we are substituting for Papyrus in his cooking lesson. I want to say that would make an interesting. I want to say that would make an interesting tasting sauce. 2 tomatoes, a carrot, and a banana. Also, I forgot it's Z there for the stirring, not the araki. And we just accidentally burnt Undertale down. Feels bad, man. Okay, so we instant match there for the attack on Undyne. It doesn't matter how much we. It doesn't matter if we try and get a quad or not, because we still do 1 HP damage. That's the other thing as well. That's the other thing as well with save states is inventory. Also we got the dog boat, which is actually a fun value thing, which doesn't really come up a lot during the run, but yeah. So with inventory, so you'll remember that we used the pie on Asgore during the Asgore fight. But then I will also be using the pie again during the Asriel fight, because the same save state principle that works with fighting Asgore and Flowey also works with using items during said fight. So because we saved before we use the pie, it actually comes back to our inventory when we reload. Okay, so there's a neat little trick there. We call that dating skip, even though it's not really a skip. It just means that we mash the text away faster than the game is expecting us to, and basically we skip the 3, dating start, dating stop, dating start things. And as you can hear, I'll go over this real quick, but as you can sort of hear in the background, you can sort of hear the, you can sort of hear a different set of music in the background, which is another little exploit. Jog boy. Hey, there we go. We got Jesus Frisk, aka Floaty Boy. Again, it doesn't save any time. It's not a glitch. It's more of a swag walk thing. Walking on water. Okay, so we're done with the dates. Now we get to go into True Lab. Yeah, have a good night, Giz. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream, and yeah, thanks for stopping by, and take care and all that. Also, apparently this elevator is actually broken and tries to throw us down to the basement floor. Did you know altitude dropping? Okay, welcome to True Lab. I wouldn't normally safety save there, but just to be safe, because we do still have a few encounters per se, if you can call them that. They're all basically scripted, so yeah. So first up we have the memory heads. We have to use the cell phone and then reject or ignore them, I think it is. Refuse, that's what it is. So we have to find 4 keys and put them into their respective slots in order to be able to go through the main doorway to get to the elevator/generator area. So that was the red key, which also opens up the next area that we can go to get the other 3. So coming up we have the yellow key, which is just under this bed sheet right here. It's not any percent, so but I'm still going to safety save at every available point regardless, because you never know what's going to happen here. Yeah. I mean, we don't want to have another death, but I would have said that about Royal Guards too. Single quickest fight in the game. Yeah. And because this is a marathon, I don't want to risk... I don't want to risk not saving because I'm feeling confident in my abilities and accidentally ending up dying. That wouldn't end up going too well. So we're going to do the yellow key first. Then we've got to go over to my arch nemesis at this particular part of the run, Lemon Bread. Since I'm on Linux and not JP, I can do the menuing correctly. The correct menuing for Lemon Bread is hum, flex, and unhug. In JP, I did not remember that, and unfortunately ended up dying in a tournament race. So, hence why I'm not too keen on this fight. Which is also why I was safety saving like mad, because that. And we have the last amalgamate. Oh no, sorry, second last. So we have one more key to put in the slot, one more amalgamate to fight, and then we're basically done with True Lab. So I'm going to do one final safety save here. And then we're going to progress into the final area that we need to for True Lab. Also, I probably should have mentioned this a while ago, but what I'm doing now, or what we sometimes call wall humping or wall grinding, I'll just do this fight real quick. Pick on, mystify, and pray, if I remember correctly. Ow. So we can go and hide down here to avoid getting hit by the heads. Okay. So going back to what I was saying before about wall grinding, it's more of an exploit, if not in-game tech, than an actual glitch. How we do that is we hold up and down against the wall towards the top part of the area. So like this, for example. And what that does is it increases the step counter without us having to move all around the screen, and basically we can do it right by the transition zones to maximize efficiency. So again, yeah, that's basically what wall grinding is. And one of the other categories in genocide, it is the most efficient method to get encounters optimally without wasting too much time. And that is True Lab. So now we get into the last part of the run, which is going back through... actually, we don't even go through New Home because we can take the elevator. We go back through Judgment Hall, except there's no one there. Okay, so when I said before that Asgore was one of the hardest boss fights in the game, that was primarily down to my execution when I was attacking him. The other boss fight that I find equally hard in this game, which is Azrael, is as difficult as Asgore because of the execution required in terms of not getting hit by Azrael's attacks. So, in a sense, Asgore's difficult because of when we attack him, in terms of execution, and Azrael's difficult because when we try to avoid getting hit by him, in terms of execution. I'm going to try and avoid it if I can. I do have backup strats for this fight in terms of healing. I'm going to try and avoid dying here. There will probably be at least one death in this fight, but it won't be until the second half, hopefully. Well, not second half, second phase. Also, more keyboard mashing incoming. Also, poor Asgore, look at his face. And my mashing is going downhill because literally all the mashing is doing my hands in. Also, yeah, slight spoiler, Flowey didn't actually disappear, he came back and we get this little cutscene. Oh no, we're trapped in a little 1x1 box and we're possibly going to die here. Whatever will we do? Oh. And we get saved by everyone because the power of friendship. Yes, we get saved by the power of friendship, because basically that's this entire run in a nutshell, is we befriend every main character. Yeah, I guess you could say Undertale is an anime, confirmed. Oh, since it's coming up in a little bit, I have no qualms in saying spoilers. Flowey is Ezreal. Yeah. And of course, because he's kind of confused at the moment because of all the stuff that's been going on and all that, he kind of has a temper tantrum and tries to kill us repeatedly. Yeah. So, welcome to the Ezreal fight. Also, a little fun fact, Ezreal's name rearranged spells serial murderer. I'm not going to try this because it could be technically classed as a glitch, although I don't think it is. There's a little trick we could do here called Rainbow Ezreal, or I guess Rainbow Exploit. I'm not going to say glitch because that's bannable. Kappa. But there's a little thing you could have done where you just get the rainbow outline of Ezreal's body instead of the actual full sprite. Yeah, also, Hopes and Dreams on now, so let's get some sour pleas in chat. Ezreal's full name, Ezreal Dreamer, if we rearrange it, actually spells out serial murderer. Ow, that hurt. This star attack is actually the worst, by the way. Ow. I'm going to do a safety heal there just to be safe. And then next turn I'm going to go back and pick up another last dream. Okay. I'm going to try and avoid dying here, like I said before, but hopefully doesn't hit. So obviously we're losing little bits of time here and there, but it's not as bad as dying. Oh, I threw the stick. Okay, well that's clever. Ow, that hurt. Okay, so we have the last stream because the attack we got coming up, if we don't get hit by it, we have our full HP. If we get hit by it, we go down to 1 HP. And it makes a lot of difference in the next part of the fight. And of course, I go straight into it. Well, that's unfortunate. But hey, at least we get to take that extra death I was talking about now. Just to save time. Yeah. That attack is usually a bit of a pain to deal with. Yep. So we want to take that death straight away, because if we mess around and try and dodge all the attacks, if we get hit later on, it just wastes time. But because we took the early death, we get our HP back, so we can actually take a bit more damage now. Ow. If we don't die here, then that's basically near optimal. So, we rescue the souls of our friends. Okay. And there's the second use for the pie in this run. So we eat the pie here because it basically takes away 2 turns for this particular soul phase. So instead of having to do 3 turns on Toriel and 1 on Asgore, we eat the pie and then we hug Asgore. And it actually saves us a little bit of time here. Also, all aboard the Feels train. Also, at this point, we actually cannot die. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's possible. It's unlikely. It's like extremely unlikely to actually die here. See, we can get down to 3 HP, but then we get the Toriel effect in that we're not able to get hit by these attacks. Yeah, this is definitely the saddest part of the run, just because of the music. No, we don't get to kill Azrael at all. Although I know we're a little bit behind schedule, but just for sentimental sake, should I hug the goat or should I not hug him? That is the question. Because on the one hand, hugging the goat is obviously, you know, a fan favorite, but it also takes about 25 seconds to complete the cutscene. I mean, if everyone wants me to hug the goat, then I'll hug him. Yep, it looks like it's an overwhelming hug for the goat, so we're gonna hug him. We'll just get through this little bit here. We're still going to be sub 155, which is actually really good, considering that extra death we took at Royal Guards. So, we got rid of the barrier, which means that essentially monsters can cross over to the human world and vice versa. And since everyone in chat was so unanimous about it, we're going to hug the goat when it comes up. And then we have even more feels with that little cutscene there as well. I should probably have said something, but yeah. I'm probably pushing it when I say this might be sub 154. Basically, so long story short, in terms of the context of the lore of the game, Azrael befriends the first human child that falls into the underworld. The first human child becomes ill and wants to be taken back up to their world before they die. Azrael gets attacked by humans because they see him as a monster and a threat. And of course, because monsters have a weaker constitution than humans, Azrael goes back to the underworld and dies. Alphys messes around with determination, and Azrael's flowery. Also, timer's coming up in a little bit. Timer's going to come up now. Sorry, I got a bit carried away there. So that is Undertale's True Pacifist Ending Glitchless. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the run. I'll be brief because I know we're a little bit behind schedule. I just want to say thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys